All right, good evening, good evening, good evening. It's your man, God of Dots. We back with the NFL content that was promised. Won't be on here long. What we're going to do, this is how I plan to run the next couple of weeks with the content. What we're going to do is we're going to kind of do a team by team breakdown. I feel it's only fair to kind of catch you up if you're not in tune with other people's teams. Now, what's going on with other people in the league, your competition, and the haters. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to do a team by team breakdown. And how I wanted to kind of make it run coherently is we're going to break them down by division. I think I got it planned out right to where I'll be done by the time the season starts. But if not, then hey, I'll fix it. But we're going to do a division, do each week by division. This week is going to be the NFC South. Next week we'll decide, and I say we, I mean you, the people, those who like, share, and subscribe to content. Leave your comments who you think should be the team or the division we should be looking towards next week, and we'll kind of go from there. Like I said, I'm not going to be up here too long because those that know what's going on in another realm. But hey, I'm here. I said I was going to do it. Try to be a man of my word. I try to be a man of consistency. All right, so we're going to start out this team by team breakdown brought to you by your man, God of Dots. Remember, like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. We're going to start with the Carolina Panthers. And Carolina Panthers is probably the main reason why I chose to start with the NFC South. If you listened to the show last week, I kind of went over my tier 1, tier 2 as far as contenders are concerned. I believe, and I'm going to say I believe in this division, with it being such I wouldn't say in disarray, but with the retirement of Tom Brady, and we'll talk about that a lot more when we get to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers later on in the week. When we talk about the Carolina Panthers, we talk about this division as a whole. It's kind of hard to pick based on the changes that each team has made as far as coaching staff, new players, and key positions. I think this division is such can be such an up in the air for me. I can't really pin my finger on saying, hey, that's the team to beat. That is the dominant team of that division. You can't say that for every division in football, but I think the NFC South this year is going to be that division. It was a battle last year, even with Tom Brady on the field for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to kind of pull it out in the late end of the season. But like I said, I'm not going to harp on what happened last year, but last year kind of plays a part in what's going to happen this year. And this is my prediction, kind of team by team breakdown. When we're looking at the Carolina Panthers, the moves they made, the big move, obviously drafting Bryce Young, number 1 at quarterback. You talk about a change of the regime. I don't think Carolina has had a number 1 pick spent on a quarterback at number 1 since, I want to say, Cam Newton. Now, the pressure is on Bryce Young, but I'm of the mindset, and like I said, when we talked about this last week, we're talking about some of the battles that's going to be going down in training camp. I think probably the biggest battle on this team going down in training camp is going to be the quarterback position. I know in most recent years, rookie quarterbacks have kind of been thrown into the fire, especially the higher you are, the earlier you tend to play. And you're going to see maybe Bryce Young start, but I'm not sure Bryce Young starts. With this division being such a competitive division, meaning there's no clear-cut favorite, you could see Bryce Young start, or you could see a guy that they signed in the offseason starting probably the early part of the season in Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton has proven himself as being a capable starter in this league. He's also come out in recent weeks and made statements that, he doesn't think there's 31 other guys better than him. He thinks he needs to be started. He thinks he needs to be in that position. Considering the circumstances of the division, considering the circumstances of how Carolina ended off the season last year, ended up placing second in the division, but made it very competitive despite the lack of quarterback play, of quality quarterback play down the stretch. Carolina kept it close, kept it interested in the division. So I'm looking forward to, the quarterback battle. Early reports have been that Bryce Young has looked good, but then again, that's OTAs, rookie minicamp. When you're not really playing against the starters, you're not playing against the veterans, is more or less he's looking good, learning the playbook. Talent-wise, we do know Bryce Young is a much more talented quarterback, but I think Andy Dalton has a real serious chance to possibly, win the starting job and possibly hold on to the starting job. And one of the reasons I think that because if it wasn't for a poor quarterback play, and trust me, last year with Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, and PJ Walker at quarterback, you're talking about very substandard quarterback play, no matter who was behind center last year. But I think Andy Dalton gives them an opportunity with veteran leadership. He's shown he can play backup. He can come off the bench and be productive. And I can remember him being a backup quarterback with my Cowboys a season or so ago. But I think Andy Dalton has a real good chance of not only winning the quarterback battle, but actually holding on to it. I think if he can get to the season as a starter, Carolina can kind of start very strong, possibly be leading the division. It is no rush to put Bryce Young in there. Bryce Young spot is solidified. He will be the starter one day. It's just not a matter of if, but a matter of when. But if you look at some of the other moves that they made in the offseason, it kind of lends itself to being a team that is ready to compete now for the division, possibly make a couple moves, make a little noise in the playoffs. And what I mean by a couple of moves, they did bring in Miles Sanders at running back. I think that was a very good pickup for them, trading Christian McCaffrey in the middle of last season. Even though he is a much more talented running back overall than in Miles Sanders, I think that bringing in Miles Sanders, along with some of the pieces that they have on the outside, I mean, what I mean on the outside, you brought in wide receiver DJ Chark, you brought in wide receiver Adam Thielen from the Vikings, and you also brought in tight end Hayden Hurst. Veteran guys who are not going to put up spectacular numbers, but Carolina's not a team and it's not an offense right now that is set up to be big explosive plays. They was very competitive last year with a very run-heavy scheme. A little bit of play action. Hopefully the quarterback wasn't holding you back during those games, but they did have a top level defense. I'm going to get into the defensive side of the ball a little bit later because they did make some additions on that side of the ball that I think is going to play make the defense a lot better on all three levels of the defense. But going back to the quarterback battle, my opinion, Andy Dalton starts the season. I'm not sure he ends the season at quarterback. I think if Carolina is not able to pull away in this division, and like I said, this division is very competitive. It's part of the reason why I wanted to pick this division, because I can make a case. I can make a case for each one of these teams in the NFC South to possibly walk away with the division crown. I can make a strong case for each one. I'm going to start with Carolina tonight. I think if Carolina is able to get suitable quarterback play, whether it be Andy Dalton, whether it be Bryce Young starting, I think that with the running game, the offensive line that they have, very nice pieces on the offensive line. And I like the additions on the as far as the weapons are concerned on the offensive side of the ball. Adam Thielen is not a burner. DJ Chark still got a little in his step. Hayden Hurst is a very adequate tight end. I think if they have the same play style that they have last year, not put too much pressure on the quarterback to go out there and put up big numbers. Play, the quarterback just needs to play mistake-free football with the defense that they have. And the defense that they're bringing back this season, and you look at the pieces like they have on the offensive side of the ball, I think this team could possibly, win the division. I think this team could possibly make it past the first round of the playoffs. And I think the defense is that good. I think the running game can be that good. I know Philadelphia was down on Miles Sanders towards the end of the season. But I think he's a bit of an upgrade over what they already have in house. Not that big of an upgrade, but I think if Miles Sanders comes in, he's motivated, and he should be motivated. One of the few running backs that have gotten paid over the past couple of seasons. He should be motivated. I think that offensively they'll be well. Now, and we're going to talk about the defensive side of the ball. Probably the biggest addition on the defensive side of the ball that I saw that they made was bringing in Von Bell from the Cincinnati Bengals. Von Bell, safety position is not a sexy position. If you're not a big football fan, but you understand the importance of that position. Von Bell is a veteran defensive back who has had time playing in very good defense, very good schemes. I think with the pressure that the front seven is able to put, excuse me, that the front seven is able to um, put the pressure on quarterbacks the way that they are. I don't think you're gonna ask them to hold up as long. They do have probably one of the best as far as depth wise. One of the best secondaries probably in the NFC. Um, in Henderson and J.C. Horn out there. J.C. Horn, very good season last year when he was on the field. A little bit of a injury problem, but it was very very good. And we were talking about he's going to get better. He's going to get better. I think C.J. Henderson is fitting well to that slot / number 2 role as far as cornerback. But I do like adding in Von Bell. Von Bell answers a lot of questions on the back end of the defense. He's able to probably quarterback a lot of that defense. And like I said, if the offense is able to play mistake-free football, they're able to run the ball with the same effectiveness that they did last year, I think this team is primarily set up to possibly win the division. Like I said, I can make a case for each and every team. Now let's kind of look at what if the wheels fall off? What if Andy Dalton is not able to win the job, or he's able to win the job and he plays poorly? Bryce Young goes out there. The knock on Bryce Young is not the talent. It's not the talent. I think the knock on Bryce Young going into the draft, reason why it was so much debate of whether Bryce Young or CJ Stroud will be the number 1 quarterback taken in this past draft, was the size. I don't think it was a issue with the talent, but it was the issue with the size. You don't see too many quarterbacks, not too many, being successful in the NFL, especially being up under 6 foot. I want to say Bryce Young came in around 5'10", 5'11-ish. A lot of fuss was made about his weight. Will he be able to sustain the punishment that comes with playing the quarterback position in the NFL? Yeah, you're not going to get the big blast of hits of quarterbacks of past, but you see, I see a lot of similarities with Bryce Young as far as his stature. Some of the issues he might have as far as his stature with him and one of the quarterbacks from the University of Alabama, Tua. I think Tua, um, similar height, a little bit thicker, but he suffered. When you're getting hit like that as a smaller quarterback, when you don't have the size, like yes, Russell Wilson is a similar size quarterback as far as height is concerned. Drew Brees was a similar size quarterback as far as height is concerned. But for one, with Brees, he didn't take the big shot. But he had a little girth on him, had a little weight on him that if he had to get hit, he could take a pounding over the season. I'm not sure that Bryce Young can. Like I said, it's not a question of his talent. It is a question of can you survive an NFL season. Now, granted, you did play in the SEC, which which is damn near NFL light when we're talking about the talent that's in the SEC, but it's a different ball game. When you're having you're not playing the William and Marys of the world. Every week that you line up in the NFL, you're playing across the field from grown men, playing across the field from professionals who have a belief each and every Sunday that they go out on there on the field that they have a chance to win. You're not playing patsies. You're not playing Youngstown State for the homecoming. Each and every week that you're in the NFL, you're playing against a team across from you that feels like they have a chance to win. That's part of the beauty of the NFL. But like I said, I can make a case for Carolina possibly winning the division. Probably when we get down to what's going on, Spot? What do you think the Cowboys are going to? Hey, wait till we get to the NFC East week. I'm not going to be jumping around. I'm going to do a team by team breakdown. It kind of saves me the trouble of trying to edit videos for each and every one of these teams. My opinion, Carolina comes out um, starts pretty well. It allows Andy Dalton to lead the way. I think with the veteran hand that he has, and granted, like I said, the weapons that they have on offense don't jump off the page to you. They're not burners. They're not guys that's going to be putting up monster numbers. Adam Thielen has had a few Pro Bowl years in his past, but he's slowed down. He's a little bit older. DJ Chark, um, though talented, has never been able to kind of really put it together um, for a complete season of work consistently. I do like Hayden Hurst, but Hayden Hurst, is he still the same kind of tight end that he was earlier on in his career? You got Tampa Bay taking the talks about. I mean, like I can make an argument for all of them. I can say, and I'm just going to kind of preview the rest of the week. Like I said, this week is pretty much going to be the NFC South teams. I can make a case with Carolina has the best defense out of everybody in that division. I think if we're talking about as far as quarterback in that division, I think Derek Carr for the Saints is probably the best quarterback in that division. Um, if you want to talk about championship experience, obviously Tampa Bay has that. With the Saints, I'm not the Saints, excuse me. The Falcons. I think the Falcons have the most potential to have the most explosive offense in that division when you consider Desmond Ritter. They're talking about implementing some of the elements of the RPO. I think Kyle Pitts is probably the best tight end in that division. Probably have Drake London, a good young wide receiver. Like I said, we kind of get into all that. I can make a case for each and every team in this division. It's part of the fun of it. Because if you told me you thought Tampa Bay was going to be the number one team in that division, I can't say you dead wrong. It's not like you're telling me the Arizona Cardinals are going to win the NFC West. Nah. I think this division is wide open. I think Carolina is really kind of set themselves up not only for a run this season, but go ahead and getting their quarterback of the future. Like I said, they do have young pieces on the offensive line. The defense is still young enough. Now, I didn't like the fact that you had to give up DJ Moore. To do that, I think if you're going to have Bryce Young out there, you need to get him with a guy who's a true number one. And the thing about Thielen and the thing about Shark, they're not true number ones. They do have a decent enough wide receiver core in Carolina, but it is not a core that's going to take advantage of Bryce Young's talents long term. It's part of the reason why you saw Miami after a couple seasons say, hey, we need to go get our quarterback some weapons. They went out and got Tyreek. They went out and drafted Jalen Waddle. We said, get him some weapons and see what he really looks like. But I think Carolina, for the short term, is set up for success. And I think long term, they already have the quarterback of the future. And when you look at the other teams, the court is still out on Desmond Ritter. Is he ready? What Baker Mayfield are we going to get? He's been heckle and jekyll his whole career. David Carr, like I said, talent-wise, is probably the best quarterback in the division, but David Carr doesn't move the needle for a lot of teams. So I think this division is really up in the air. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm not going to go out on a limb and pick Carolina. I'm gonna have to kind of. That's what I do Friday. Friday, I'll kind of give you my. I'll give you my pick for winner of the division. And that's how we'll do it. What we'll do Monday through Thursday, we'll go through the teams in each of these divisions one by one, give my breakdown on what they brought in, what they went left out, what the prospects look for the team going forward, and then on Friday we'll do a show and we'll kind of pick. Y'all know me and my picks. We'll do picks on who wins the division, so we'll kind of do it like that. But let me kind of get up out of here, man. Like I said, I just wanted to keep it kind of short and sweet. Try to keep these particular shows down to about 20-25 minutes. That way it allows me to kind of move forward. I've already kind of set up, 8:30 for the rest of the week. We'll be doing the shows, and we're going to be doing that same thing next week all the way until the season starts. And then we're going to get into some more some more things as far as I'm excited for the NFL. I'm gonna try to sneak a college football special in before the season really gets started with that. Kind of look at some of the top 25, some of the top storylines as far as college football is concerned, and we're going to kind of do that. I might have to slip that in on a Saturday at some point because I know that the season is getting ready to get started with that. But if nothing else, man, I'll kind of leave you with the phrase that pays around here. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but every time you learn. And I'm out.